So yeah, menopause is really the hot topic of the day, of the week here in Ireland at the moment. So I just wanted to share some of the things that we can really do to help menopause. And menopause and andropause, which happens to men, happens to everybody, because what is it? It's a hormonal change, and our hormones are changing all the time. So how can we support that in Chinese medicine? So what I'm going to do with this live class is, if you have any questions, pop them in the chat. I know that we'll be able to have a chat at the end. If you're on Zoom, if you're on Facebook, you can put your questions in the chat and I will get to them afterwards. But obviously we can have a live chat about any specific questions if you're live here with us on Zoom. And if next week, next Tuesday, I'm going to be talking about panic, anxiety and insomnia in Chinese medicine and menopause, because there's slightly different ways that we can manage those. But today I thought I would take digestion. So kind of bloating, cramps, all these things that can happen during menopause that you just don't expect and nobody tells you about. Nobody's really talking about what happens with menopause. So very often it's easy to feel isolated, because you might go to the doctor and the doctor kind of goes, well, it's just one of those things, you have to live through it, it's a natural process, you'll just get over it. But really, when you're in the middle of it, and it can go on for lots of years, it can go on for like 7 to 10 years. So I'm here really to kind of help, because I have also been, I'm 53 in a couple of months, and I've also been through quite a big perimenopause. I had just had twins and I had another baby. So I had 3 children under 3 and I was a single parent unexpectedly. And the stress on my body really played havoc with my hormones, and I had lots and lots of menopause symptoms. I had lots of dizziness, anxiety, insomnia, weight gain. I couldn't lose the weight. I was at one point 14 stone, and if you know me, I'm 5 foot tall. 14 stone does not make for a healthy person on a 5 foot frame. So I really had to use what I do, which is Chinese medicine, and bring that into my body. And it really made a difference with Chinese medicine. So what I'm going to talk about, though, is Chinese medicine and show you a few acupressure points, talk in general about what you can eat, what works for which organs. But you have to remember, there are no 2 people the same. So there are no 2 solutions the same. There are no 2 menopauses the same. You know, you might chat with your girlfriend and you might have similar symptoms, but your insomnia might be that you wake at 6 in the morning, and for her, she can't get to sleep. So there are no 2 solutions, which is really important. Why I have a menopause course starting in June. There's a lot of one-to-one direct advice and consultation. There's group sessions, so you get your solution for your individual needs. So when I'm talking to you here today and I'm going to show you a few points, I want you to remember these might not work for you. You might need something else, but you will find something in Chinese medicine that will suit you. Also to remember, Chinese medicine is a complementary therapy. So if you are on medication, don't suddenly come off your medication saying, Joe told me to press heart protector 6 and I've just come off my meds. Chinese medicine is a complementary therapy, and it will support you in the choices you make. So if you're taking HRT, you can take HRT and do Chinese medicine. The 2 are not exclusive. And if you choose to balance hormones naturally, then that's what we can do with acupressure, food, and Qigong, the exercises. So what can happen in menopause? So menopause is obviously a change in hormones, which means your estrogen is dropping. And as your estrogen drops, your estrogen is created by your ovaries sending signals into the body that it's time to drop another egg and it's time to procreate and have children. And obviously we get to an age, well, we don't want more children. I'm 53. I don't want any more children. Now is the time for me to blossom. My children are older and it's time for me to really enjoy this time. not to be bogged down with the symptoms that this lack of estrogen and this imbalance in hormones can create. So one of the organs that really helps to balance hormones in the body is the liver. So do you know where your liver is? Good to know where your liver is. Your liver is on your right side of the body, underneath your ribs. And the liver has got a little organ called a gallbladder underneath, and that squeezes bile into the liver. And the liver's job is to metabolize energy. So it takes the food and it turns it into glycogen and energy that the body can use. And whatever it doesn't use, it stores as fat, and it tends to store it as fat around your middle. So if you find yourself gaining weight around the middle, but your arms stay skinny and your legs stay skinny, this is a sign that your liver is not working properly. And when your liver doesn't work properly, your excess hormones, because the other thing your liver does is it's the detox organ. It detoxifies any extra hormones. It recycles cholesterol, anything that you have taken that the body thinks is a poison. So that could be alcohol, tobacco, any additives, preservatives. It takes those and it releases them, sends them to the large intestine for elimination. So these excess hormones, if the liver isn't working properly, then it slows down your digestion and it slows down your metabolization. So it means you get a lot of fat around here. So let me get my book and I'll show you. In Chinese medicine, the liver is considered in Chinese medicine, every organ has a color. So for example, the kidneys have the color blue, and when you've got kidney imbalance, you find blue black underneath the eyes. When the liver is out of balance, you will notice that you might have kind of like a jaundice look for the face, like a greeny yellow tinge. It all fits together in a system called the 5-element system, and that's what we use for the menopause. So for the liver, green foods are really good at clearing the liver. Also, yellowy green foods, so lemons, the flavor is sour. So you know, people get up in the morning, have a hot water and a lemon, that will help to clear the liver. And when we are keeping the liver clear, it means that our metabolization is working well and we won't have lots of that weight gain. Now, on the course, we go one of the weeks, there's a support circle, and we talk about fasting. And we do intermittent fasting for a week on Frazzled to Fabulous, the course that's dropping in June. I mean, I can't go into it specifically here, but I'll give you a little hint. Breakfast, break fast. Break your fast. So for the liver, to help the liver and to help your weight gain and help to metabolize and release the excess hormones, making sure that you don't eat after dinner until breakfast. So don't eat after 6 until 9 in the morning. Now I'm going to be discussing with you exactly how to do that on the Frazzled to Fabulous course. We'll be doing intermittent fasting together as a group. But as a little hint, breakfast, break fast. So don't eat after 6 until 9 in the morning. And when you break that fast, you make sure that you don't have coffee or something like that. You have a good hot food to support the spleen. All right. So keeping the liver clear and making sure that it can get rid of the excess hormones. Because if you have got the excess hormones, you'll find that you've got night sweats, hot flashes, your hormones are not balanced. So the liver needs to be excreting all those excess hormones. Otherwise, it's just not working properly and you'll get more of the symptoms. The other thing that the liver does is it produces enzymes for the stomach. And if the liver is stagnated, we would say in Chinese medicine, if it becomes stagnated and it's just slow and sluggish, you'll find that your digestion is also slow and sluggish. And actually you might end up with reflux, where your food is starting to come back up because it's taking so long to be digested, because the liver is not sending the enzymes to the stomach. Now, you don't need to know all this science stuff, You just need to know the solutions. So in Frazzled to Fabulous, we have lots of recipes that aid the digestion, speed up the liver's process, send lots of enzymes to the stomach, and reduce the acid reflux, helping things move through the body. Because we're all familiar with Henry VIII. Henry VIII had quite a liver stagnating diet. And what was he famous for? Apart from killing all his wives, he was famous for having gout. And gout is when you get soreness around the joints. And that's another symptom that can come with menopause, and another symptom of the liver not working properly. So let's do a point to get the liver working properly. And I like this one because it's not only a point, but it's a Qigong move. So in Frazzled to Fabulous, we use diet. So you get those 2 big cookbooks. You also get 18 video recipe lessons that cover each of the organs, especially the liver and the kidneys. And you get acupressure points, and also, 40 Qigong lessons. So let's do some Qigong and some acupressure to boost the liver and help it work better, balancing the hormones, reducing night sweats, stopping so much weight around the middle, and stopping any acid reflux, so bringing that back down. So I'm going to show you one which is Heart Protector 7. Okay, so I want you to kind of make a fist and draw a line from the tip of that middle finger over the center of the palm. And when it comes to the wrist here, that's Heart Protector 7. Okay, you've got it on both hands. And what I want you to do is make prayer position, curl the fingers, and now push the palms together. Push the palms together and release. Push the palms together and release. See if you can already feel your heartbeat increasing. See if you can already feel your chi, which is your energy, increasing. I'm really pushing this together. Okay, so this is a warm-up. So even though Qigong, which is like Tai Chi and it's very slow and meditative, don't think that you don't get a bit of a workout. You ask the 250 women who do it with me every morning. We have a bit of a workout. So let's move. This is the acupressure point. So we press and release, press and release, press and release. And now we're going to take that into the Qigong move. So it's almost like we're going to do backstroke with the elbows, but keep the 2 palms together. Okay. So holding it at about heart height. All right. Around we go. Now, usually you would do this standing up, but I'm sitting down. Don't let the heels of the hands fall apart. Don't let them fall apart. Keep them together. Have you got it? You're doing a backstroke. So you can see what you're doing. Keep going. You're opening up the liver. So you're opening up the liver, and then you're opening up the spleen. And as you open up the spleen, you're condensing the liver on that side. So you're almost giving yourself an internal massage, pressing the hands together, rotating, opening through the armpits. And now gather, bring it over the top of the head, down over the chest. Did your heartbeat increase? I'm going to be asking you afterwards, did your heartbeat increase? Simple energy exercises like this can really help the body. So we don't have to feel powerless. There are things that we can do to help our own bodies. It's just a way of understanding the body. You know, in the Frazzled to Fabulous also, we take a week with the support circle and we go through facial diagnosis. What does it mean when under my eyes is really puffy? What does it mean when I get chapped lips on the bottom lip? What does it mean when my cheeks go really pink? What does it mean when I get spots here? So what we do on the Frazzled to Fabulous is really understand our bodies. And when we understand it, we can meet our needs. Okay, so you don't have to know all the knowledge. I've been doing this for 20 years, but I am going to share it with you so that you know what to do. So talked a little bit. What else did I say I was going to do? I said I was going to do the weight gain. I was going to do also the bloating. So getting the liver moving, getting the liver detoxing, having a fast, eating sour food, eating green foods, so green smoothies, but not first thing in the morning. You want warm food first thing in the morning. Eating green smoothies at about kind of 11, between 11 and 4. All of these help the liver to detox and will help balance your hormones and help with digestion, sore joints, night flushes, acid reflux. What else did I say I was going to cover? Itchy eyes. Itchy eyes and itchy skin also would be a symptom of the liver being stagnated. So this is just one. I mean, I hope that it will also fit with you. But you may also find that it's the kidneys you need to work on more. And next week on the Tuesday, I'm going to be talking heart and kidneys. But the liver, when we look at the Chinese medicine, I was going to do a slide, but I decided to just look in the book instead. So as part of Frazzled to Fabulous, you get this book sent straight to your door. In fact, you get both. So if you see here, you can see that there's a constructive cycle and a destructive cycle. So here is the liver, and you can see if the liver is an imbalance, it affects the spleen and stomach. So if the liver is an imbalance, you're going to find a problem with the spleen and the stomach. And the spleen regulates sugars. So if you find that you're on sweet cravings, starting with the liver is a good place to start to manage the sweet cravings. But the spleen also will then suffer. So I'm going to show you one of the most powerful points on the body. There's 5 really, really powerful points on the body. So this one is a really fantastic menopause point, but don't use it if you're pregnant. Because why? Because pregnancy is the opposite of menopause. All right. So if you're pregnant, you don't need to be doing this point. And if you're pregnant, it can induce labor. It's a very strong point for the lower abdomen. Okay. But if you're pregnant, you don't want to move things in the lower abdomen. But if you're like me in your 40s and 50s and even 60s, you can get this real heavy, dragging feeling in your lower abdomen. And that we do want to move if we're in menopause. All right. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to finish with this really powerful point. All right. I'm going to show you this and hopefully nothing else, as in I should have worn leggings perhaps. So find your feet. Here's my foot. All right. Here's my foot and here's my ankle bone. So 4 fingers. Show me 4 fingers. Measure 4 fingers up from the inside of the ankle bone and massage and press. So can you see I'm on the line right on the middle of the leg and I'm 4 fingers up from the ankle bone. And if you're saying, ow, ooh, yeah, you're on the right point. This can be a very tight, sore spot. And people often ask, how long should I press? How long should I press? How hard should I press? It really depends on you. There is no one solution that fits all, which is why it's really important. We've all bought online courses. We've all bought menopause books and they stay on the shelf. You need one-to-one interaction. You need group support to actually work out what is right for you. So let's have a look at the other side because you've got 2 feet. So there's my other foot. There's my other 4 fingers. And I'm pressing into the midline. Now this point is really powerful because the kidney meridian and the liver meridian meet at this. This is called 3 Yin Crossing. So you're getting all of these points. You're getting the liver, you're getting the spleen, you're getting the kidney. All of those are really important organs for the menopause. Kidney releases your adrenaline and your cortisol. We'll talk about more of that on next Tuesday. And if you have just kind of joined me on Facebook and you want to come next Tuesday, I will put the link in the comments of how you actually sign up to get the Zoom link. And if you're on Zoom, you're going to be able to ask me questions any minute now. So I'm pressing into spleen. So just press it until you can feel the resistance meet you. So if it's a really tough, tight point, almost imagine your thumb is entering that point, relaxing it and dissolving any tension. If it's really empty, press the point and imagine your energy and blood and muscle come and meet the point. So it really depends on you. There's no two people the same, and there's no two menopauses the same. So why don't you ask me your questions now? Ask me all about it, anything you need. I'm going to just open it up for questions so I can see you. And I'm going to put the recording on pause so that your questions aren't recorded.